Welcome back to the fourth video in the series on business structure. This one is particularly near and dear because it's probably the most common type of business structure, and that is a limited liability company. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 4 pros and 4 cons of structuring your business as a limited liability company. The first pro of a limited liability company and the biggest advantage is that it provides personal protection for its members. What this means is that if you have assets in a limited liability company, they are going to stay outside of your personal assets, and your personal assets are going to be separated from the limited liability company. And unless the corporate veil is pierced for some egregious reason, your personal assets are not going to be at risk. That is the number one and most primary reason that people set up under an LLC. In addition, the number 2 is tax benefits. LLCs are taxed as pass-through entities, meaning that you have income and expenses in the limited liability company, and only the net income is passed through to its owners. And individual members who report them on their personal tax returns. So this can result in significant tax savings, as members are only taxed once on the company's income. The third pro of a limited liability company is flexibility. LLCs are typically relatively easy to set up and maintain, and they have more flexibility in terms of management and ownership than corporations. Often there's less annual requirements. Usually, depending on your state, you need to file an annual report. Depending on your state, that can cost a different amount, but not much to do in terms of annual maintenance. The fourth pro of limited liability companies is durability. LLCs do not have a definite lifespan, unlike corporations, which have to be dissolved after a certain period. So now on to the cons. Let's talk about some of the cons of limited liability companies. First is that although there is durability, there can be a limited life. Unlike a corporation, an LLC is dissolved when a member leaves or dies, or can be dissolved if a member leaves or dies, if it's not accounted for in the operating agreement. I should state that if you're going to form an LLC with anyone other than yourself, you should have a pretty sound operating agreement that's thought through from the perspective of what happens if A, B, C, or D. Those A, B, C, or D could be a merger, a sale, death, again, that we're talking about, any number of things that should be accounted for, and an attorney can help you set that up. The second con, I should say, of a limited liability company is sometimes there are complex regulations. Depending on the state, there may be more regulations, more compliance requirements for LLCs than another type of business, say a sole proprietorship. Third con is that you have typically limited ability to raise capital. LLCs may find it more difficult to raise capital than corporations, as they cannot issue stock to raise money. So that is a con, just like limited liability partnerships, I should say. And the fourth con is less prestige. Some businesses may prefer the prestige of a corporation rather than an LLC. Oftentimes I hear people say, well, all the biggest companies in the United States are C corporations, so I'm going to incorporate under a C corp. Well, that's true, but there are reasons for that. Sometimes those reasons include things like they have more complex businesses. Maybe they have multiple businesses rolled in under a larger umbrella. Any number of things. Not to say that you can't do that under an LLC. There are things such as a series LLC where you have one LLC on top and you can have LLC A, B, C, and D all rolling up under the top LLC, but that's typically for more complex businesses. Just getting started out, if you're considering an LLC, the 4 pros and the 4 cons I've just mentioned are some things that you should think about. If you would like to have a discussion on it, please feel free to reach out to me. Happy to have that preliminary discussion. Although I am not an accountant or an attorney, I do have some insights and thoughts and recommendations. And as always, if it's beyond my area of expertise, I will refer you on to an expert that can help you. So hopefully this has been helpful. Maybe can lead you in the right direction as far as your initial business structure. Please, if you like what I've had to say so far, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and if you think that an LLC may not encompass the complexities of your business, please continue watching this series as I will go through the remaining business structures.